question we asked in our latest science video, right? So what is the answer, co-host?
The answer is yes. It is still considered a living thing because it once was a growing organism, and it will always be a living thing even if it is dead or alive.
Yes.
It once needed sunlight, nutrients, water, etc.
Yes. And so, which are the characteristics of the living things, right? And welcome to this edition of Invision Hope Healthy Living. Today we're talking science, but we are talking about mushrooms. So, we have this beautiful assortment of mushrooms.
We have the portobello mushrooms, which are very big.
Yes.
We have the baby bella mushrooms.
Yes.
And the white mushrooms.
Yes. And you know, when we do this video, it's really about teaching you the basics of science. And one thing, always have a protective gears. We're going to put our glasses or goggles, however you call it. Make sure you have a pair. This will protect you from anything splashing into your eyes, even though we're not really dealing with liquid today.
No.
But it's setting good habit. And another thing about doing science video or teaching kids about science, make sure you always label. Labeling is very important. And of course you want to wear gloves, especially today we are dealing with mushrooms. So, what is mushroom, Pearl?
A mushroom is, we think of it as a vegetable in general.
Yes.
But it is actually a fungus.
Yes. And do you know how the mushroom grows?
It grows, bacteria reproduces, and becomes...
So let me explain. So when you take this big portobello mushroom, as you can see, I don't know if I can come closer, you're going to see the gills, right? Okay, can you bring it closer?
Yeah.
Okay, bring it closer.
So, as you can see here, you can see the gills through the magnifying glass.
Yes. And so inside those gills are actually what we call spores. And think of spores like a seed, right? Think of it like a seed of higher plant. And so the spore, when the conditions are right, if they are in some kind of a decomposed area with nutrients, they're going to open up and grow. Now, when the spore opens up and grow, they grow into tiny filaments, right? And these filaments, usually you cannot see them with a naked eye. You need something like a microscope. And this is another thing, a great toy for kids. Buy a microscope and they will learn a little bit more about science because they will enjoy just manipulating it. So what researchers do, or people that are specialized in growing these mushrooms in laboratory, they are going to grow from the spore, right? And once they have that first batch, they put it in a larger composting, and then it will keep growing. And usually that's what they sell as spawn, and the farmers buy those spawn and then keep reproducing it by putting more ingredient around the spawn. You know, it's like you take a batch of soil, you know, very rich soil with fungus growing, and then you put it in a bigger amount of soil and it's going to keep growing, and that's how they are able to produce, you know, mushroom, which are commercially sold in supermarkets, right? It's called mushroom farming. So now the second part of this video will be to talk about the different part of a mushroom when we come back.
Now we will be talking about the parts of a mushroom.
Yes.
Hope has a diagram here.
Yes. As you can see, this is a very sketchy diagram. And we don't see this part. This is under the ground, right? And this is usually what, scientists will grow in the laboratory. And it goes through what I was telling you about spawning, which is growing from the spore into like some kind of a compost, right?
Yes.
Before they sell this spawning, the spawn to farmers. And the farmers will continue growing it like a mushroom that we eat, like this one. These are farm mushrooms.
So I'm just gonna bring out the stem.
Yes.
So it's easier to see.
Yes. And show it a little bit closer. Yes.
So it is a little hard to see, but right there, that grayish brown that you see, that is the gills.
Yes.
Right in there.
Yes. And try to see with this one.
A brown mushroom.
Oh, look at that.
You can see it more. It's more vibrant.
Yes.
In the brown mushroom.
Yes.
As you can see.
Great.
A ring all around.
Yes. And this part of the mushroom, how do we call this part?
These
the cap.
are the
First
cap.
of all, the cap.
And then we have the scales.
Yes, can you show the scale?
On the portobello mushroom.
Yes. And they really look like the fish scales, right?
Yes.
Yes, beautiful. And these are the edible mushroom, right? Okay, guys, so like I was saying, the reason why we do this is for you to learn about, the food that you eat, right? And we hope that you at home can also let the kids explore, discover, and a great thing to do, mom and dad, would be to buy a small toy microscope just like this one, but it's very useful because it would help, your children explore, discover, open their horizon, right?
And now,
science.
For some fun facts about mushrooms.
Yes. Do you know that there are about 14 million species of mushrooms? I didn't know that. I found out when I was reading about it. 14 million species.
That's a lot.
Yes, and another fun fact about mushrooms is a lot of mushrooms are grown into wetlands. Yes.
Even in the
surprisingly,
desert.
Yes, surprisingly.
If there's maybe a dead cactus,
yes.
Since cactuses store a lot of water, once it dies, it's probably a very damp and moist place where a mushroom can probably grow
if you have the spores in that condition, right? Yes. And another thing about mushroom, a lot of mushroom that we eat today are farming mushroom, like this one. These are produced actually in California.
But there are a lot. Most of the mushrooms
in the wild
are wild mushrooms that we don't eat because they are unedible.
Yes, but there are some of the wild mushrooms, like the morel mushroom, that are edible, but you have to know. So my advice is that if you don't know, you never touch a mushroom, and let an adult know when you see or find a mushroom somewhere. We only eat mushroom from the store because that's the only one that we think are edible, but we know that there are wild mushroom, edible mushroom that people can harvest, but we don't know about them, so we try not to find them, right?
And our final fun fact is not all mushrooms are brown or white like this. Many mushrooms that are edible to humans are different colors.
Yes, mushrooms comes in different colors. There are actually some mushrooms so bright. When I was doing the research for this show, guys, I actually found that there's a lady, she's a pioneer in, dyeing clothes with mushrooms, and she actually studied different mushrooms and wrote a book about it. And I think I have the title of the book, and we are also going to put the link down below. One link would lead you to like a farming, like a mushroom farming.
Website?
Yes, and it will be interesting to see how mushroom grow, right, the different stages. But another link would be where you can actually have a small video of this pioneer, and her name, I think I wrote it down. Her name is Miriam Rice. She wrote a book, Mushroom Fall Colors, and I haven't read the book. I hope I can find it now that I'm fascinated with mushrooms, right? And we will be cooking some mushrooms too, because we love eating mushrooms. They are rich in minerals and
low in calories,
so very good for a healthy diet.
They are not very strong flavors.
Yes, it's very
mild. They are nice and tender.
Yes, thank you very much. And so yes, we are going to be cooking with a lot of mushroom. And one last thing, we are going to leave you with this video of Pearl actually discovering mushroom, and it wasn't even far. It wasn't like in a wild
no,
it wasn't like in bushes.
It was just in like a neighborhood.
Yes, just in our neighborhood, but the mushroom were growing on a tree stump, a dead tree stump.
Yes.
So interesting video.
And it was very, very big.
Yes.
Very big.
Yes.
Like
Good.
this big.
This is a small video of something strange that we just encountered. Okay, can you tell us more about it?
Yes, I would be glad to. I was walking this way and I saw it. I was very surprised to see such a colorful plant. And I looked and I thought, well, that looks like a plant from the rainforest. So I thought, well, I should tell my mom before I touch it or anything. So I did. And this is a very pure plant. And I think maybe we should tell the office because it could be contaminated or poisonous. So we should tell them. And if they say something about it, then good. And maybe put a sign to not touch. And so I guess we just see this very weird plant, and it is very big. It looks like mushroom or flowers or whatever it is. It looks weird, and this is the first time I've seen it anywhere. I've never seen this cow plant before, never seen it here, and I'm just very surprised to see it. It is beautiful, but I don't think I should touch it, even if it's not poisonous.
Good.
Thank you for listening.
And do not hesitate, to let us know what you think of this video. And if you would like to see more videos like this one, thank you for your support. We are going to keep doing videos. And of course, cooking is always going to be on the menu, right?
Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and click that notification bell down below so you know when we upload new videos every time. And check out our website, envisionhope.com.
Yes.
It is now fixed.
Good news, good news, good news. And we want to say thank you to our web developer, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know who you are. We appreciate and we love you. Thank you for your support.
Bye.